How can someone with such a beautiful voice be so tone deaf? Let's talk about Colleen Ballinger's attempt to exonerate herself from claims of abuse through an original ukulele song. In lieu of taking any responsibility for her tangible abusive actions, Colleen Ballinger sang about how she has been damaged by gossip and lies. As a trauma-informed educator, writer, and activist, I only deal in material that comes from a place of education. So thank you for checking out my take here. Let's talk about intent versus impact and the actual meaning of the word grooming. Colleen claims that the only thing she has ever groomed is her cats, and then she makes a joke about how she made a fart joke 5 years ago. This is super significant, and here's why. Because this is her trying to package all of her mistakes under the guise of having a crude sense of humor. Here's what most people will think of when we talk about grooming. Seriously, do not sleep on this show. SOSET is an organization that has done a wonderful job showing the important and gut-wrenching reality of things like men targeting little girls online. Because of stories like that, the term grooming carries a lot of weight, and it should. But it's also relevant to understand the spectrum of this term and why and when it is relevant to you. Grooming is ultimately not as much of a term that we need to use for legal aspects, but for scholarly discussions of the context and understanding of abusive situations. Colleen didn't make a bad joke that she didn't understand. For 14 years, Colleen has used her power as a well-known entertainer to reach an audience primarily made up of children with material specifically designed to entice that particular audience. She published an entire book based on her Miranda Sings character, complete with activities like drawing a hot dog, which she herself admitted was meant to be female parts. Her character Miranda has a creepy uncle character explicitly designed to be a predator. To share this as comedy is insensitive and damaging, and it has always been a slap in the face to survivors of abuse. Miranda regularly turns innocuous things into corn. This is Colleen directly exposing her young audiences to the concept of corn. Honestly, I don't think Colleen means harm, but if that's true, then what we have is an adult with no understanding of her actual impact. And if she does have the understanding, then she's showing us that she feels entitled to create material that has this impact in order to boost her career and fulfill her crude sense of humor. What's the impact and why does that matter so much? Look for part 2.